Hi, it's Mona Frails. Wanted to talk a little bit about my project from Iceland that I did and some of the things that I really enjoyed. I was blessed to be able to actually go to Iceland and see all of the amazing mitigation strategies that they have and that they're using in person. Got to visit some volcanoes, got to see the glaciers that are melting, got to see their carbon capture facilities, some of their hydro dams, their geothermal facilities, and able to talk to a lot of the people that were there. It was fascinating to learn the history of the island and some of the different ways that it has been used over the years. One of the interesting ways that I thought was it was used as a prison for Europe. And so there were a lot of prisoners who were just dropped off on the island, considered that if they could live in those harsh conditions, then they were able to survive. That was interesting because it spurred a lot of what is now the folklore in Iceland. For example, in Christmas, they have 13 kind of gnomes in terms of folklore that visit, and each one does a different thing. And that stems from prisoners who actually escaped and were going into the towns. So just interesting to see kind of how folklore is born. Another interesting fact, just the way that the island was populated, there were no indigenous peoples. And so people that are now considered native to Iceland, almost all of them are related. So one of the fun facts was that if you're dating somebody in Iceland, everybody actually has to register. And before you can date somebody, you have to look at their lineage. They have an app where you could see how closely related you are. And if you're closer than third cousins, you're not allowed to legally date. So I thought that was very interesting. Just some little fun facts about being in the island. Other than that, I think it was very interesting to see to have just a small area where they can pilot a lot of the climate mitigation and strategies. And those things can be piloted in that area and then hopefully studied by people around the world, and then really have the ability to recreate some of those in scale in other countries. And I think that will really help us go a long way. They certainly are on the forefront a lot of those strategies, and willing to share a lot of what they're doing to make sure that we just as a global community can work on this net neutrality and carbon reduction, and can kind of leave the world a better place. So I think just the attitudes of the people in Iceland, learning a lot of their history and being able to be there and to see it, for me was one of the most I think the best parts of this project, and be able to share some of those pictures during my project. So thank you.